Hi guys, welcome. My name is Maria, Firefly Yoga. So before we start, make sure you're fit and well, and this practice isn't for anyone that has an injury or that is pregnant. So we've been practicing our yogic breath for a while now. This is where we've been taking a big inhale. We're popping that belly out like a big balloon. We feel the air coming to our rib cage, under our chest and right up underneath our collarbone. And then we slowly start to exhale, and then when we've completely finished exhaling, we draw the belly button back to the spine. This is pushing the diaphragm up to get rid of all the stale air that sits at the bottom of our lungs. In Hatha Yoga, we practice a purifying technique before we practice the yogic breath. It's called Kapalabhati, and I'm going to explain to you what we're going to be doing. Please don't worry if it doesn't, it doesn't sort of feel great for you the first time. It does take a little bit of practice and it does feel a little bit strange. So what we're going to do in a minute, I just want you to watch me. So I'm going to have like a nice loose tummy. It's quite, we're so used to holding our tummies in, aren't we? So just let it all hang out. And now what I want you to do is to draw that belly back as you're exhaling. So it's a yeah, and I don't know if you can hear my breath. I'm trying to keep it really rhythmical. I'm drawing in as I'm exhaling, so it's an exhale as the belly comes in, exhale as the belly comes in. I'm not breathing. As I allow my belly to drop, my diaphragm will drop and I will automatically breathe in. So we're going to practice this every time we come to the mat. So in effect, what happens, we've always got a bit of air that's left in our lungs. We need air in our lungs, otherwise, we wouldn't be able to breathe. There's always a certain amount of air. And if you can imagine, we're breathing little tiny, short, shallow breaths. So if yoga's about purification, we need to empty our lungs, get rid of all that stale air at the bottom of our lungs. Then we lay back, using our big yogic breath, drawing in the oxygen, exhaling, drawing in, exhaling, and then we're ready to do our practice. So don't worry if it's a little bit too much and you can't get the rhythm. This is not a problem. So find your block or a cushion, whatever you need to sit up on. Remember, you can sit any way you like to be comfortable. I like to sit in a cross-legged position. So find a nice comfortable spot. Your spine needs to be nice, long and erect, and then just think about tilting your chin to your chest just a tiny little bit. Think about the spine and the neck and the crown of your head. You want to be nice and long. So use your hands if you need to. Take your hands to your belly, and now I want you to exhale. So you just exhale as you draw your belly button back to the spine. Exhale, exhale. Let me show you from a side view. So it's so continue with your breath, exhaling, exhaling. Perhaps close your eyes. Listen to your breath. Does it sound a little bit staggered? Does it sound like you're in a good rhythm? So you're just thinking about exhaling, dropping that belly out, and that's going to drop your diaphragm down and you're going to really breathe in deep. So we're going to do two more exhales. Exhale. Now from here, exhale, exhale, exhale. Draw your belly button back, draw it back, pushing the diaphragm up. Really, really exhaling as much as you can. Now take a big deep breath in, pop that belly out like a big balloon, draw in as much air as you can right up to your collarbone. And now just exhale, keep your eyes closed, just relax, listen to your breath. Do you feel a little bit lightheaded? Did it feel a little bit odd? Do you feel a little bit uncomfortable? So you're just noticing everything. Everything that goes on in your body, you're noticing. So we're going to just practice that one more time. So think about sitting up, thinking about that belly button. It draws back, back, back as you're breathing out, out, out. We're going to get to a certain point. When I say exhale, 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 you just draw that belly back, draw it back, draw it back, draw it back, trying to exhale. Empty your lungs and then fill right up to the top. Okay, hands on your tummy or hands on your knees, and let's practice again. So you're exhaling. Exhaling, slow as you need to do it. Exhale, exhale as you're breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. And now exhale, 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 exhale. Draw the belly button back, 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 back. Very slowly, inhale, inhale, inhale. Push the belly out, all the way out, all the way out. Feeling right to the top. And then exhale and inhale at your leisure, just listening to your body, having your eyes closed, just noticing how you feel. And then from here, we come down to our mat, and now we start that yogic breath. So palms to face up, roll your shoulders under so you've got big chest, big wide chest. Feet are about hip distance apart. Allow your toes to just relax out to the side. Now take a big deep breath in. As you do, push your tummy up like a big balloon, feeling the ribs expand, the chest expand. All the way to the top. Hold your breath for a few seconds. And then very gently exhale, exhale, exhale. Start to draw the belly button back. Pushing the diaphragm up. Very gently, we start to breathe in again, pushing the tummy up, 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 up. All the way up to right up underneath your collarbone. Hold your breath. Start to exhale, 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 exhale. So a couple of little rounds by yourself. And I hope that it's all making sense. Yeah, I mean, it's very simple stuff actually, isn't it? We just want to purify our lungs before we start. We want to make sure all the crap is out. And now we're drawing in fresh oxygen, which is going to purify us. It's going to wake us up. It's going to get our body. If you think this air comes into the body, travels down into the bloodstream, it goes around the body. You know, we need to be really healthy before we start, and this is what we're doing. Bring your feet closer together now. Flex your feet, take your hands to the side of your body, palms facing down. We're going to take a big inhale, drawing the arms above the head. Then we're going to take the left heel away, the right heel. We're feeling our hips moving up and down. Notice how you feel in your hips. We're going to hold our feet still. I'm going to arch my back and then flatten my back. And to do this, I'm rolling my pelvis under and then I'm rolling my pelvis back. Rolling it under, rolling it back. All the time, just listening. You might want to go back to taking your heels away one at a time. We're just moving. Maybe make some circles or draw a figure of 8. Imagine your hips going round and round in a circle and then coming back the other way, round and round in a circle. From here, interlace your fingers above your head. Draw your arms up and off of the mat. Yes, and my shoulders are just lifted up off of the mat. And then I'm dropping my shoulders back down. Lift them off of the mat and drop them back down. So your hands are going up to the ceiling and you're just lifting your shoulders up, making space between the shoulder blades and taking them back down. Let's take both our hands over to the right. As I do, the body stays still. I'm going to draw that bottom right arm away so I can feel space in my shoulder, and then my left arm is crossing my body. Keep your feet flexed. This helps with keeping the body stable. Inhale your arms above the head, lifting your shoulder blades off of the floor, and then take the arms to the other side. So left arm, you're drawing that away. You can feel like your chest opening here. The right arm is crossing the body. I'm going to take my right arm, bring it right the way over to the other side. Big T shape. Palms are facing up, and then draw your arms away from you. You first stretch across your chest. Maybe a little bit of tingling in the wrists. Then just relax, bend a little bit at the elbows, maybe just rock your chest from side to side. We're going to bring our feet up, feet on the floor, lift your bottom to correct your spine, tuck your chin into your chest, make sure your whole spine feels relaxed on the mat. Knees are hip distance apart. I'm going to interlace my fingers, bring my right knee into my chest, taking my hands to my shin. So please don't pull on your knee, just hold it here. Let's make a little tiny figure of 8 with the knee. You go round and round into a little tiny figure of 8. Big deep breath in. On your exhale, you take that right heel up to the ceiling. It can be bent, it can be straight. You can move from being bent and stretched and bent and stretched. Don't pull on the knees, so the hands need to be above or below the knee. And then we're going to point, we're going to flex, we're going to move the foot from side to side. And all the time I'm listening and watching and feeling my muscles, all in my mind's eye. Yeah, so my eyes are closed, but as I feel these little muscles switch on, I'm mentally kind of seeing them behind my closed eyelids. I can feel them and I know exactly where they are. From here, we're going to swap legs. So interlace, hands come round the left shin and very gently just making a little figure of 8 with the left knee. And for me, I've noticed straight away my left side feels much tighter than the right, just by making these little tiny wincy little movements. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, take your left heel up to the ceiling. I'm trying to make sure that I'm bringing my left butt cheek down to the mat because I want my spine to stay long on the mat. Moving the foot from side to side, maybe point, flex, make a circle. And again, just in your mind's eye, just listen to the body. What is it telling you to do? Do you need to stretch and bend the hamstring? Do you need to stay in that point? Do you need to stay in that flex? I'm going to bring both legs up now and bring my knees into my chest and just move in from side to side. Nice little movements. So we're mobilizing. I'm going to bring my head up. So I've got a nice little curl with my spine now. I'm going to tap my toes down and bring my fingertips next to my bottom, and very gently, have to use my abdominals to do this. I'm bringing my knees, rolling them in a little bit. My bottom is lifting off. Tiny little movement. Now, depending on how strong you are in the abdominals, you can bring your knees right up to your forehead. Notice I'm trying not to use the momentum of my body. I'm trying to use my abdominals. Hence, you'll hear my voice changes, yeah? Because I'm really needing to warm up my abdominals. So this time, once I bring my knees up to my forehead, I'm going to hold the back of my legs and whee, roll all the way up, okay? Excuse me. Feet, make sure they're down. So you might need to bring your feet in a little bit. It's quite difficult to get like a rooting sensation in your feet. So I'm working pretty hard to get my toes down. My knees are hip distance apart. I'm using my abdominals to keep my body up nice and straight. You can use your hands to draw yourself up. Then we're going to take a little twist to the side. Look back at your knees. Make sure they're not moving. I'm going to come round and do the other side. So you can have a flat hand behind you, or you can come up onto your fingertips. It really depends on how your body feels. And it may feel different one week to the next. And that's another, you know, make a mental note of that. We're going to cross our legs. Just cross your legs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And we're going to bring ourselves forward, stretching your arms out. We're not trying to get too low. Remember, we're mobilising through the body before we start our practice. Draw your hands up and bring your hands behind your back. Again, fingertips to open your chest. You can flatten your hands, having your hands coming back. Just roll your shoulders, taking your head up. If you want, you can lift your bottom off. Yeah, so we're coming into a little back stretch here. You can feel my arms stretching, shoulders stretching, my neck. And we come down. We're going to take a little side stretch now. So bring your right arm up and over and get that stretch, not a bent arm, and try not to collapse here. So you're drawing that arm up so I can feel a big stretch, taking that arm up as much as I can and then coming over and just see the difference. And then the hand comes down. We're doing the opposite side, so draw that arm up, get it up, lift it up even more, feel that space come into the body and then come over to the side. So we're trying to create space in the body. You know, when we come onto all fours, when we feel like we've sat at our desk all day, we get up and we stretch, don't we? And when we do that, it feels good. We're making length and space in our body. Equally, that's what we try to do in our mind when we meditate. We try to make space, get rid of all the thoughts. Onto all fours now. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Remember, let's practice that breath work. So we inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest. Do it in your own time. When you exhale, you tuck the tailbone, tuck your chin into your chest, and you're drawing that belly button back to your spine. Again, inhale. And it's okay to breathe when you're here, or it's okay to hold your breath and then you exhale. Inhale, maybe hold your breath and then exhale. And then we're going to sit back on our heels, drawing our arms out. So when we hold our breath, just for a few seconds, it fires up the body. If you think about it, if your body's not receiving any oxygen, it's going to go into panic mode. So then when you do take that massive big deep breath in, the body works even harder to sort of like, wow, we're gonna take all this oxygen in. So just for a few seconds you hold your breath. So we're drawing out our arms. Lift your bottom up. Take your arms out in front of you. Have your forehead down. And now try and lift from the outside of where your armpits are. So right at the side of your arms, just where your armpits are. Try and lift there. As you do, feel that flattening in your back, where you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, so there's a tightening, but it opens up the front of your body to create some space here. We're going to bring ourselves up. We're going to take our right arm, slide it palm facing down out to the side of the body. I'm going to come this way, yeah. So my right arm is coming out to the side of my body as my face turns in the opposite direction. So my shoulder is on the floor, on the mat. Got a little tiny twist in my spine also, and then draw yourself back up. Let's do the opposite side. So your palm is down, you come down, down, down. The face is turning to the opposite direction. It's a little gentle spinal twist. Feels good to stretch the neck and the shoulder, and then draw yourself up. Come and sit on your heels. We're going to stretch out our neck now. So think long, drawing up through the crown of the head. Take your head over to the right hand side. Close your eyes. And then draw your head back up. Let's go to the other side. Come back up. Can we take chin to chest? When we do this, try to not let the spine curve. So my chin is quite high up. You see that? To keep my spine long. You know, if I drop my chin, then notice that my spine changes and my shoulders drop. So I'm just taking my chin down, and then gently just take your head up. We're going to bring our hands down. Think about your hands. Make sure they're wide and that you're getting all of your palm attached to the mat. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to come back with bent knees. So experience that flat back. Let's move our hips from side to side. So I'm turning my toes, turning my toes. So my knees are going to the left. Turn my toes, knees are going to the right. Turn my toes. As you do this, you feel a stretch quite high up underneath your arms. And then come back to centre. Let's stretch out the right leg. So left leg is bent, right leg is straight. You're pushing up your tailbone, pushing down with your palms. Let's do the other side. Big deep breaths in and out here. And then we're going to come into our down facing dog. So remember, you want an upside down V shape. As you're becoming more flexible, you know, as we're moving and we're in this position, walk your hands back. Think about the bottom being the highest part of you. Push that tailbone up to the ceiling. We're going to walk our hands all the way in. So have bent knees if you need to. Bring your feet in a little bit until they sit underneath your hips. Take your hands down to the mat and just hang down for a moment. So I'm holding my head
So if I rock my head, rock it backwards and forwards, side to side. Now I know I'm relaxed. And I'm going to bend my right leg, straighten the left, and just move from being bent to flex, to just warming up into this forward fold. Let's interlace our fingers and draw our arms down. Feeling a big back stretch, moving through the legs, bending and flexing. And then we're going to hold ourselves still. Big deep breath in, exhaling, just hanging down here. Lovely. Think about drawing your thighs up. The knees come back. Feel a little bit more of a stretch in the hamstrings, don't you? We're going to draw our hands up our spine, up our legs, up our shins, until we have a nice long spine. Tabletop position. Tuck your chin in. Find that nice flat back. Think about pushing your tailbone up to the ceiling and drawing those thighs. And then very gently stand up. We're going to roll back our shoulders. Nice big rolls. And then we're going to roll the shoulders forward. We're going to interlace our fingers and take our palms away from us. Be gentle as you stretch your arms forward. Feeling a big stretch in the fingers, in the wrists. We're going to draw those arms above the head. And then relax and just shake the hands out. Let's come to the top of our mat now. And we're going to start with our feet apart. So we're going to start here. So feet are underneath our hips. So remember our grounding down. So without me telling you, close your eyes. Imagine a plumb line. So lifting your right heel, lifting up that thigh. Lift up, place down that left heel. Spread the toes wide, draw those thighs up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Nice long arms, palms coming forward, drawing up the tummy. Think crown of the head to the ceiling. We're going to inhale our arms up, looking up, getting a really big stretch. And now we want to stretch over to the right hand side. So my left foot is going to come off and I'm coming over to the side. Let me just show you. So we're here. Yeah, so can you lift up? Can you stretch over a little bit? Yeah, think about length. So stretching those arms up as much as you can. Point that toe and then bring your foot back down. So your right foot's come back down. Take your right foot now and step it out to the side of your mat. We're coming into goddess pose. So the arms are down, but I'm drawing back my shoulders, getting a stretch across my chest. I'm drawing my shoulder blades down my back. My knees are going to the corners of the mat. Dropping down, thighs are working, pelvic floor, you need to hold here. Gently tilt your head, so we want a nice long spine. Gently tucking that tailbone under. You're going to inhale coming up. Now your right foot, because we're going to be moving around this mat, right foot needs to come to the top of your mat. Your left foot is going to, your toes need to come to the side of the mat. So right foot, top of the mat, left foot, side of the mat. Bring your arms up, thighs, lift them. Yeah, so holding it here. Now imagine being stuck between two panes of glass
we can only come to the right foot, top of your mat. Come across to wherever feels comfortable. You can feel big stretch in your inside right thigh. Drop that right arm down and now lift the left arm up. And when I say lift, I mean lift. I want to create space in the side of the body. Big inhale, drop a little lower and bring that top arm all the way over. That top arm is as straight as it can be, and you can feel the stretch in your left hip. You really have to work on keeping the legs straight and pushing your feet down. From here, start to bend that right leg, turn that left leg, and we're coming down into a high lunge. So notice I've got knee ankle alignment. Don't let the knee go over your toe. Just hold it here. I'm trying to drop my hips as much as I'm lifting up my head and pushing back with my left heel. If I push back with my left heel, it lifts up my knee. Now take the knee down. Relax the toes. This is the left leg that's behind, and we draw up our arms as much as we can. Big deep breath in, exhale, soften into the posture. From here, my hands are going to come down. I'm going to take a little turn to the side, coming up into a balancing position. Now then, notice my right toes, I'm up on, so my heels off, I'm on my toes. I've got my hands into prayer. My left leg, the toe is up to the ceiling, and I'm working on turning the toes back because I'm trying to open up this hip. If you have a block, you could place your heel on a block. You can use your block to hold on to. You can keep your fingertips down. If it's too much and you've got bad knees, I suggest you come up and you just hold yourself here. Yeah, we're still getting this big stretch. So we're here. So we want to be gazing. Yeah, this is a great preparation for meditation when we have to hold a pose, because we have to be really into this and concentrating. Bring your hands down. We're coming into a Hindi squat. So when we come into the middle, we want to have our feet flat on the floor, coming down into a Hindi squat. Again, might be difficult. If you've got a block, you could place your heels on a block and you come down like so. If this is all too much for the hips, you're going to come up and you're just going to hold this position. At any time, just relax. So we're here. And we're in this Hindi squat. Nice, long, straight spine. From here, we're going to the left. So I'm turning. Now I've got my left foot at the top of the mat. My right leg is back. I'm in that low lunge to start. So I'm going to bring my arms up. Nice big stretch. From here, my hands are coming down. I'm going to tuck my right toes under, and without lifting up, I'm going to try and push my right heel back. As I push my right heel back, it draws my knee up. And then I'm going to come up on my fingertips to try and get that nice long line from my heel to the top of my head. From here, I'm going to bring that back leg in a little bit and come up, coming into a triangle pose. This time, left leg is at the top, right foot is at the back, toes are to the side of the mat.
front foot is coming to the front of the mat. Draw your arms up, draw your thighs up, get that length, so stretch your body up. We're going to come across to the left leg as far as we can. Keep your legs straight, bottom arm down. As we turn, I'm going to draw my shoulder back. Arm comes up as high as it can go. Can feel that space as I lower down. On the exhale, bringing a straight arm across my body. From here, I'm going to bend the left leg. I'm going to come back into goddess. Knees are coming to the outside of the mat. I'm really trying to draw back my knees. Opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest, and then come all the way up. We're going to come to the top end of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. We're going to inhale up. We're going to take off our right leg, coming over to the side. Lift, lift, lift. And then place that leg back down. Well done. So we need to do the other side. So we're working with the left leg this time. So feet under your hips. Again, really clock into whatever you're doing. Close your eyes. Listen to your breath. Feel your heartbeat. We're trying to connect with our body. Yeah, so if that was a lot, listen to yourself. You know, this is what happens in life. We end up getting, it's in such a pickle when the breath loses, you know, where we feel uncomfortable. So practice on calming yourself down now and feeling grounded. Lift your left heel, place it down, draw up the thigh. Lift your right heel, draw up the thigh, open the toes. Drawing up pelvic floor, keeping the abdominals, rolling your shoulders back. All the time, big belly breaths in and out, in and out. You're going to now draw your arms above your head. So this time we need to lift the left leg off. So you're coming into a left leg balance. Lifting, 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 lifting. Really get that stretch and lift up. And then place it down. Let me get into position. From here, we take that left leg out and we come into goddess pose. So find your goddess pose. Get your knees out to the side. And you want to be in a position, turn to a mirror or a camera. Yeah, so notice my knees are rolling in. I need to draw my knees back. Equally, I need my tailbone going down and my spine straight. So you're holding it here. We're going to come all the way up. So this time we need to do the left leg first. So my left leg is at the top of the mat. My right toes are coming to the side of the mat. So we're doing a little bit of moving around. So you don't mirror me. Just think left toes, top of the mat, right toes to the side of the mat. And then draw your arms up, draw your thighs up. Lift up, yeah, get that nice stretch. Then come across as far as you can. And notice my chest is still to the side. Drop the bottom arm down and then draw up that arm. There's no good turning in and having your arm here. Draw that arm up, the waist, the chest, everything is turned to the side. Let's take a big deep breath in. When we exhale, big exhale, draw that arm across the body. Push down with the feet. Lift your toes if you need to. Place them back down. And then come all the way up. We're going to turn the right foot, so I'm up quite high into a lunge, and I'm going to bring my hands down. So notice my body wants to collapse and my heel is up high. So I'm going to push back with my heel. I'm going to drop my hips, making sure I've got knee, ankle alignment. Come up onto your fingertips. And then think about a really long line from the top of your head all the way to the back of that heel. Back knee comes down. Release your toenails to the mat and then draw up. Check out your knee ankle alignment. Yeah, you might need to bring that leg in a little bit to get a good position, and I'm dropping into my hips. Drawing up the arms, really drawing up. Hands come back down, and then I'm taking that little twist to the side. Heel is off the mat, I'm on my toes, my right foot, as much as this foot wants to turn to the front and my hip wants to turn, I'm going to draw it back. So figure it out. Get the toes to come back. If you've got a block, you could use your block to hold on. Yeah, you can use your fingers. If you want to, you're going to come up into a prayer. So pushing my hands together, I'm actually stretching out my forearms by pushing my hands together, drawing up my pelvic floor. Yeah, and I've really got to concentrate. It's called your drishti. I'm concentrating on one little point. Hands come down and we're coming to the center to come into our Hindi squat. So remember, you can be here. You can use a block, a cushion to bring your heels up onto. Otherwise, you're going to come down. You get that tailbone right the way down. Push your hands together. Feel your arms stretching, feel your hips stretching. Trying to keep a nice long spine. So I'm still not dropping my head down. I'm lifting up, getting space. Close your eyes if you can. Deep breaths in and out, in and out. Hands come down. Should we come over to the other side? So I'm on to the right side now. So left leg is long. Coming out to the side. Hands come up. And remember, like I said, you could be all the way up here, flexing your foot. You can have your foot down. You're still going to feel this stretch. So from here, we're going to turn. We have our back knee down and our toenails down. So I've got my right foot in front. My left leg is at the back. I'm going to make sure I've got that knee ankle alignment, and I'm drawing down all the time, gently bringing myself down. Drawing up the arms, nice straight long arms. Bringing your hands down, or fingertips. Think about tucking that left toe under. And now, instead of lifting up, I'm going to just push that heel back. Notice the knee straightens, the thigh pulls up, feel a bit bent in my back, so I'm going to take my fingertips down. And then just draw up, think about a long line from the top of my head all the way down to my heel. From here, I'm gently drawing that leg in a little bit, coming up into our triangle. Right foot is to the top of the mat. Try and get it right in the centre. And then the left foot, imagine an imaginary line. The left foot crosses that line and the toes are to the side of the mat. As my arms come up, I want to make sure my chest is level, drawing up my thighs. My feet are really strong. And then as I come forward, so I'm exhaling, exhale, exhale, exhale. Feel a big inside thigh stretch. Take that arm down. So you want to inhale as we're lifting up, stretching up, exhale as that arm comes over. Straight arm, chest to the side. Make sure you're breathing, pushing down with the feet. Start to bend that right leg. Coming into our goddess pose. So again, working your feet to the corners of the mat, coming down nice and long. Think about tilting under, arms. And then you're going to come up. You're going to step your feet together. Remember, you've got your feet slightly apart. And then we're going to stretch up. And we're going to come over to the side. Really lift up. And then place your feet down. And your hands into prayer. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulders back and down. Feel the shoulders as they drop down. Feel the length in the neck. Just draw your thighs back a little bit. Move your toes, move your feet. Kind of start grounding down. Now listen to your breath, listen to your body. Notice how you feel. And then we're going to take our hands down, roll our shoulders. So I hope that was okay for you guys. It's quite a lot of hip openers there. And just try not to push yourself if there's something you can't do. Because the squats are quite deep. And you're quite welcome to stay up high, and then when you've had enough, you just come up. You don't have to go really, really low. So from here, let's bring ourselves down. We're going to sit on our bottom. We're going to hold on to our legs. So notice that my spine is a little bit rounded. So if I hold on to my shins, I can draw my back up nice and straight. And the way I have to do that is I have to kind of draw my tummy and also pull up like from down below, like a pelvic floor movement. And we'll go a little bit into that in a couple of weeks' time. It's something called our bandhas. So it would be our Mula Bandha and our Uddiyana Bandha, but we'll talk about that soon. So you're drawing up. And now I want you to bring your arms off. And notice, to keep your feet down, your muscles engage in your thighs, your abdominals have to engage, and then we're going to relax. And we're just going to roll ourselves, flex your feet, roll ourselves forward, so feeling a nice stretch in the back. So we're going to practice our Ujjayi breath. So do we remember the Darth Vader breath? Yeah. So where we're fogging that mirror. Yeah, so we're going to just practice a little bit more with that. Hopefully you was practicing that breath if you felt a little bit stuck or tricky in any of the postures that we did just a moment ago. So bring your feet back down, get them grounded, use your hands to draw you up. And now we're going to bring off our right leg, okay?
So you may find straight away that your breath has just gone. Yeah, so remember your Ujjayi breathing. And then we're going to come down, hold on to the legs, draw ourselves up. So it's a great way to know you're breathing when you can hear your breath. Now, of course, I'm being very, very animated to let you hear what I'm doing, but realistically, it's just you that needs to be into your breath and controlling the breath, and you're hearing your breath. They call it the ocean breath because it's that very soft sound. It's not really Darth Vader. So let's do the left leg. So holding on, drawing up. Let's take a big deep breath in. Now Ujjayi breath out. And in and out in your own time, and then place that leg down. We're going to hold on to the leg. I'm going to draw ourselves up. So guess what? You've guessed it. We're going to do both legs. And you'll notice that your breath will just completely go from breathing to it will just stop. So we have to work pretty darn hard to get this Ujjayi breath to work, and for a long length of time. If it's too much, do one leg at a time, but we're going to try to just have one little round of the Ujjayi breath, just so we don't forget it. So we're going to inhale, lift both legs up, breathe in, take hold of your knees, lay yourselves back and just make some circles with the knees. You've worked very, very hard in your hips today, so just gently massaging, mobilizing through your hips. You go back the other way, gentle, gentle movements. Breathing deeply as you're doing this. Let's bring our feet down now. We're going to take our hands down to the mat. Think about your feet, really push them down, and then very gently you've got to lift up your bottom. So notice you kind of come up to a certain point, and then that just feels like you're locked. You're not going to go up any higher. This might be enough for you, but if you want a little bit more, think about coming up onto your toes and tucking under your shoulders. Your chest lifts up quite high, shoulders sort of tuck underneath your body. And now I'm going to place my feet back down with purpose. Yeah, notice how much higher I am. Try and keep your head still as much as possible. I know, you may feel like you need to look, but try and keep that neck still. Come down whenever you want to. And then we're all going to come down together. Just roll down, and then to counterbalance that, we're going to bring the knees into the chest and bring our head up to meet our knees. We're going to relax down. Take your head down, and then just take your knees over to the right hand side. Bring your arms out to T shape. One arm one side of the body, one arm the other side of the body. Just hold it here. If you want a little bit more, you're going to bring that top leg out long. And you can, if you're very flexible, you might want to hold on to your toe. You might want to hold your leg so it sits down a little bit, adding a little bit of pressure.
All I will say though is we need the shoulder blades, both shoulder blades, to be on the mat. So if you've come into a long-legged position and now all of a sudden your shoulder blades aren't on the mat, then I suggest you go back to having bent knees. We're going to bring ourselves back to the centre, and let's do the other side. Before we do that, let's just bring our knees up, bring our chin up to our chest. Just curl up as much as you can. And then relax back down. Take your time. Bring your arms out into T shape and then just allow the knees to gently come over to the side. Sometimes you have to come back up and correct your back by lifting your shoulders, taking them to the right. And then again, if you want a little more, you draw that right leg across the body. I need to move over to get my right leg across my body. And again, you might want to just use your hand to hold on to your thigh. This just helps it to stay in a position. But just make sure that your shoulder blades are attached. And once you're here, you want to breathe deeply into the posture. And then bring yourself back to the centre. We're going to take our feet together. So the soles of our feet together, just allow your knees to come out to the side. We're going to interlace our fingers and bring the arms above your head and just allow your elbows to come out to the side. So you're in a butterfly shape. Imagine a wing of the butterfly as your arms and a wing of the butterfly as your legs. So just close your eyes. Nice big deep breaths. It's nice to just allow yourself to calm down and just notice what a difference it is when you're in a position, in a relaxing posture. How easy your breath. There's no tension at all, is there? There's no feeling like you're breathing deeply. And this is how we want to feel when we're in most postures. This is how we want to feel in life. So from here, we're going to roll over onto our side. Take one of your arms along. It doesn't matter which side you're on really. We're going to be doing the other side. Take your top leg and bend at the knee. Hold on to your foot. My knees are still together. I'm just stretching out my thigh. This is like a quad stretch. And then I'm going to release my leg, lift my leg up, and then lift my bottom leg up. And what I'm trying to do, use your hand if you need to, I'm trying to stretch my body as I'm lifting up. So I'm getting a bit of a side stretch here, a bit of a back stretch, and relax back down. So I'm going to swap sides. Feel free to just roll over to the other side. I'm sure you can remember what we did. So we have a nice long arm. We're on our side. We're bending the top leg, coming into a quad stretch. So bottom leg relaxes. Make sure your knees are together. And you can even bring a stretch into the shoulder if you roll your shoulder back. Relax, stretching out that top leg and lift it up. And then lift that bottom leg. Keep your hand to the side of your body if you can. If you're wobbling, bring your hand in front of you.
And are you breathing? And then we're going to relax down. We're going to turn onto our tummy. We're going to take one hand on top of the other and just rock our bottom from side to side. Just rock, rock, rock. And then from here, we're going to take ourselves up and back into a child's pose. Have your knees wide and your toes touching, and just draw your forehead down. And just take a little move, rock around. If you feel like your bottom's not sitting so well on your heels, take your hands behind you. Just hold it here. Big, long, deep breaths in. And then we're going to bring ourselves up. We're going to find our block or our cushion, and we're going to come up into a seated position. Again, feel free to sit up against the wall or wherever you have to be to make yourself feel comfortable. Ooh, itchy nose. So we're going to practice the alternate nostril breathing. So again, you're not mirroring me. So left hand, thumb to first finger. You kind of make this sort of birdie shape, and then you're going to place. Make sure you keep your fingers really long and place your hand on your knee. So you've got a circle. Your right hand, you're going to take your first and second finger and you place it on this paddy bit of your thumb, and your thumb sits on your right nostril. Your ring finger, so not your little finger, your ring finger sits on your left nostril. And you can move, just practice by going from right to left, thumb to ring finger, yeah? Moving backwards and forwards. Now take your fingers and thumb away from your nostrils. They're still here, holding them right against it, but there's no pressure on my nostrils. Close your eyes. Take a really big deep breath in through both nostrils, and then exhale slowly and calmly. Take the thumb, close your right nostril, inhale through the left. Big inhale through the left, close both nostrils, so close your left nostril, hold it for a few seconds, release the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Long and deep, hold your breath for a few seconds, close that nostril, then release the left and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. So it's long, it's deep, you close the left nostril, you hold your breath for a few seconds, you release the right and you exhale through the right. In your own time, you inhale through the right, you close that right side, you hold your breath, you release the left and you exhale through the left. So I'm just going to allow you to do a couple of rounds by yourself. Take your time. Just notice how it slows you down, it calms you down. You're balancing your left and right side. You're balancing your left, which is your feminine side, and you're balancing your right, which is your masculine side. So just be aware of how you're sitting. Could you straighten that spine a little bit? Do it gently. Could you drop your shoulders down a little bit? Could you gently pull up your pelvic floor area? Could you gently just draw your belly slightly back without compromising your breathing? Could you take the crown of your head to the ceiling, tilting your chin in a tiny little bit? So we're totally absorbed by what's going on in our body. This is a great way to meditate. So continue with your alternate breathing. So we're going to finish, and we always finish by exhaling on the left hand side. So take your time, you are in no rush whatsoever. Just make sure that your last breath is out of your left nostril. When you've done that, take your hands, place them down on your knees. Keep your eyes closed and just take a nice, natural, long, deep breath in and a natural, long, deep breath out. Think about your body, think about your spine, the crown of your head, the chin to your chest, your straight spine, and as you do move and correct yourself, do it slowly. Connect with every little movement you're making. And you'll notice, when we meditate, if we're listening to music or we're listening to a podcast or something, we're still using our senses. So what I'm asking you to do is to switch off to everything apart from what is going on inside your body. Experience your mind. Experience it. Is it moving? Are you jumping to one thought to another? Just experience it. There's no rule to this. Just do what you need to do. So I'm going to say Om Shanti, which is peace, and Namaste to you lovely people. I suggest that you either stay here, just being quiet in meditation, or you might like to now just lay back on your mat and just take a few moments to just relax. So do exactly what you need to do.